Hi and welcome back to my channel and what will be a weekend reading vlog, and the main character of the vlog is going to be this absolute beauty of a book. It is a Moveable Feast by Ernest Hemingway, and this is a UK edition that I picked up at the English bookshop here in Antibes, here in France. And I just think that it's a stunning cover, and I'm very excited to read this one. I have been waiting for the perfect opportunity to read it. I want to take my time and really savor and enjoy the experience, and this weekend is a 3-day weekend, so I'm dedicating the weekend to reading this book, and I want to vlog the experience. I have read some Hemingway before in school, but we only read like excerpts of some of his books, so this will be the first time that I'm reading Hemingway properly, so that is exciting. And if any of you have read this book, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I would like to hear if you like the book or not, and what are your thoughts about the topics that he brings up in this book. But I guess that there are also people who have never heard about this book, so I will read the back, and hopefully, or maybe it will sort of inspire you as much as it did me. So it says, Hemingway's memories of his life as an unknown writer living in Paris in the 20s are deeply personal, warmly affectionate and full of wit. Looking back not only at his own much younger self, but also at other writers who shared Paris with him. James Joyce, Wyndham Lewis, Scott and Ella Fitzgerald. He recalls the time when poor, happy and writing in cafes, he discovered his vocation. Written during the last years of Hemingway's life, his memoir is a lively and powerful reflection of his genius that scintillates with the romance of the city. So that sounds super exciting, and I can't wait to start reading this one. So I thought I would do an update, and I've just read over 50 pages, and so far I am absolutely loving this book. It's great. I can absolutely see why Hemingway is so popular. The chapters are pretty short and like so to the point. There's no like extra fluff. Like his writing style is so direct and it flows very easily. It's very easy to read. It's enjoyable to read. I really like the book. It's so exciting to hear how it was to live in Paris in the 20s. How different it is to like living in Paris now. Like I haven't lived in Paris, but I've been to Paris a few times, and of course it's different. It's 100 years ago now, but yeah, like some of the details, it's really striking how different life is. And one fun detail is that in one of the first chapters he goes to Shakespeare & Company, the bookshop, and it's funny because pretty much all English-speaking booktubers that go to Paris go to Shakespeare & Company. It's such a well-known place on BookTube. So it's fun that he went there 100 years ago already. So that was a fun detail, and I really enjoyed like the story of him sort of befriending Gertrude Stein and him talking about like her opinions. She's very opinionated, and it's fun to hear him describing that. And some of these opinions would be today, of course, very controversial, but again, this is 100 years ago, so I just think it's fun and interesting to read. So I will continue reading. Like I said, I've already done over 50 pages, and it's not a long book, so unfortunately I don't have too much left. I wish it would go on for much longer, but yeah, it seems to be a very short and sweet book, so I will continue reading and keep you updated. So it's now a few hours later, and I had to sort of redo my plans for today. I had planned to go to the library, but since it's Easter, it's actually closed all weekend. So I will have to do that another day. Like, I had planned to go there and stop at a cafe next to the library to have some lunch, and then sort of stroll in the park that's next to it and take some photos maybe. But yeah, I will have to do that another weekend. So instead I've been sort of reading at home instead, which has been fine. I've been sitting out, sort of getting a tan on my balcony at the same time, so it's been fine. And I'm now like more than 2/3 into this book, and I still absolutely love it. It's great. So more and more famous people are starting to show up now in the book. And Hemingway is he's quite mean about some of them, most of them, and sort of how he's describing them, and he has some not very kind words for pretty much all of them, which is a bit funny to read. It's also like funny to, like interesting to read about living in Paris in the 20s. It's so different from today. Like things are described as cheap. Like he's renting sort of like an office, and he says that the rent is cheap and that you can eat cheaply and drink cheaply. And I think that anyone who's been to Paris lately knows that nothing is cheap in Paris. And like instead of people going out to the store to buy goat milk, every morning like goat herds come with their goats and walk the streets with their goats, and people come out of their houses to milk the goats and get the goat milk directly from the goats. And that's like, it seems so ancient and so distant for us. So it's very interesting to read, I think. And like he's very good at sort of giving these small details, which really reminds you that this is happening a long time ago. Because I think that his writing style is so modern, and it doesn't feel like you're reading something very old. So like getting these details really sort of helps you to be transported back in time. So that's really good. So I will continue reading this tomorrow, and I'm planning on going on a motorcycle trip tomorrow, sort of bring some lunch with me and bring my book, and like go to a nice place with a bike, and sort of have a day out reading. So I will bring you guys along on that and finish the book, and then sort of give you my final thoughts. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, it's now Sunday, and like I said yesterday when I finished off yesterday's portion of the video, I'm still reading A Moveable Feast by Ernest Hemingway, and I have a third left. So today I'm going on a motorcycle trip, and I'm bringing this with me. So I'm going to drive to a village like 40 minutes away from Nice, and I'm bringing some brunch and this book, so I'm going to finish reading it there. And I guess show you the scenery, and yeah, bring you guys along, and sort of update you on my thoughts about this book. So let's get going. So I made it to the village that I had in mind, and they have this like super large like lawn or whatever you want to call it, this like big open space, and it's surrounded by the mountains. So it's really cool here. So I'm going to find somewhere to sit down, to read, listen to some music, I think, and eat something, because I'm getting really hungry now. But yeah, I'm just going to enjoy my day here. So I'll see you later. like watching like people like bringing their dogs here to play with. It's just so much fun to see. There's so much space here for them to run. And then like the mountains in the background, there's like so gorgeous. It's really, really nice here. I'm so glad I decided to drive up here today. And it's like Nice is very busy, it's very noisy, and like here it's so peaceful and quiet. It's just so nice. So I found myself a park bench here. So I've just had some food, and now I will start reading my Hemingway. And this is just a perfect setting to spend a few hours reading, I think, or however long it will take. But yeah, I'm planning to stay here for a while and read and take some photos. Yeah, enjoy my day. So I've read a few more chapters now, and we've just met James Joyce and an Irish poet called Walsh that I hadn't heard about before, but this book is so full-packed of like cultural figures from the past, and it's just very exciting. So I'm going to continue, and yeah, it's still a great book. So I'm back home again after my motorcycle trip, and I'm going to have some lunch, and I'm going to continue reading a Moveable Feast because I have a few pages left, not much at all. So I'm going to sit on my balcony because it's very sunny and nice out, and get a tan, listen to some music, and finish the book, and then make a conclusion of what I thought about the book. So it's now a while later, and I finished A Moveable Feast, and I'm giving this book 5 stars. I think it's a fantastic book. I enjoyed every single page, and I think that this size is sort of the perfect like length for this type of book. I never had a chance to get bored, and after the 180 pages of this book, I was left wanting more. This book is divided into very short chapters, and each chapter is a separate story. And even though the stories are separate, they really fit so nicely together, and they really paint a coherent picture of Hemingway's life in Paris in the 20s. And it's at the same time a great piece of literature, but also a great window into the past. You really get very specific details of how it was to live in Paris in the 1920s and how different it is from living there today. So that was really interesting. So I enjoyed myself, but I also learned some things, which is great. Hemingway met a lot of like famous writers while he was in Paris, and he's so good at giving like descriptions of these people and giving very specific details about them, and that really like sticks with you. So I think in the future, when I hear names like F. Scott Fitzgerald or Gertrude Stein, I will sort of remember what Hemingway had to say about them. Sometimes he can be very nasty, but usually I feel like he's been fair, and yeah, so that's I think that those things is some like are things that I will sort of carry with me from this book, which is fun. So all in all, a really great read, and I'm so happy that I bought this book. Like for one, I am in love with the cover. It's really stunning. I'm not sure if everyone thinks that, but I really like it, and I feel like this is a book that I will want to reread in the future. So I am so happy that I have a physical copy of it. I was going to say that maybe it will be a book that I will sort of loan to people, but I'm not really sure that I will let other people get near this book, because I want to keep it as nice as it is now. So we will see about that, but this is definitely a book that will stay in on my bookshelf. So that's it for this weekend reading vlog, and I want to say thank you for watching and see you next time.